Okay guys, so with Moltres down, that is the last opponent we have left for us in the Victory Road. Now the reason I'm speeding this up, you'll notice the screen, I'm hoping it's just for the dazzle, but when I upload it, I'm hoping it's not like bobbing up and down a little bit. Now the reason I did that is because not only are we using the Duo speed up, I'm actually speeding this up in editing 180 times. The reason being is that all we have is just pushing these last two boulder puzzles into place so we can get through to the Elite Four. And it's not going to take but an hour. Okay, heck no. It's going to take a minute and a half, not even, and then we're going to be out of this place. So rather than just cutting it out and just saying, take my word for it, I'm just going to go ahead and just, it's not too much trouble. We'll speed it up and then we just do these blasted strength puzzles, yay. So yeah, this is the last one. We're almost done. What's going to happen is that now that we've reached the Elite Four, or rather the center where the Elite Four is, that Mega Center with the Pokemon Center, the Mart along with Mart there with you, which we are going to use to buy a lot of full restores, just because it's just smart. What we're going to do is I'm going to, now that we're at the end here, is I finally pick up one of the full restores, which is fine. Now I'm going to show you the Pokemon. I'm actually looking at how much experience they need left. So if they have within, I think, 1 to 2,000 experience points left, I just go ahead and grind the wild Pokemon here, and after I go ahead and heal them up, I just go ahead and grind the Pokemon in Victory Road just so I can top them off. So now that we've finally reached the main center before the Elite Four, I'm just going to go ahead and rearrange everything. Now, the reason I brought Pikachu with me was, 1, it's Pokemon Yellow. 2, I actually mistook this this Victory Road from Gen 1 in Kanto for another Victory Road. I believe it's in Gen 3, where or somewhere. It's in another generation. It escapes me right now. But you're going to have a section where it's going to be dark, kind of like Rock Tunnel, and it's best if you have a Pokemon that has Flash, especially since I'm showing it off, but of course that wasn't the case. So what I did there is that you saw that really quick jump, and I already did what I said I did. I went back, and if they had enough experience left, I just got them up to the next level. And so now what we're going to finally do is, after holding on to all these rare candies, we're going to start awarding them. So now that I have 11, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give 2 to everybody in our party, leaving us with 1. And then in the middle of the Elite Four, whichever one needs it most, whichever one in our party needs it most, I'll go ahead and give it to them. With that being said, after all this awarding is done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the Elite Four. Now, with the Elite Four, they... honestly, I want to say they're difficult, but they sure as hell were difficult for me when I was a kid. Now, Lorelei is one of a couple of trainers in the Pokemon games that everybody says they have a hard time with. And honestly, if you're underleveled like I was as a kid, you're going to have a hard time with all of the Elite Four. That being said, Lorelei is not all that difficult. All you have to do is, I mean, the only real bad thing that can happen, of course, is that if she gets the low chance of freeze actually happening to you, which you can't actually solve because you can use full restores. It's just a minor nuisance. Now, if that happens in the stadium games, that might be a little bit of another matter, but I still withhold that. She's not really as difficult at all as many people make her out to be. The real problems actually start at Agatha, but it's really just Lance that's the biggest problem. The only reason Agatha is because of her confused rate, honestly. Confusion is not considered a stat ailment that can be healed at this point in first gen, but and we know how much the RNG loves to have fun with letting us go ahead and attack when we're confused, especially if I'm Eric out. Ugh. So I'm going to go ahead and sell off whatever I have that I don't need. I actually go ahead and hold on to the Metronome and Explosion just in case. I was just thinking I might use it for something a little bit extra, but I go ahead and I just say no to that. I'm not going to do it. It's going to take up too much time. So after selling everything that we need to and teaching everybody what we need to, I just look at the availability of what I have in TMs and if I actually want to teach to anybody. Now, we do have that bubble still on Blastoise, but after a certain point in between the Elite Four, we're going to be finally getting his last move. And so after selling all this stuff, I'm just going to pick up the couple of full restores, a couple of full heals, just extra provisions along the way, because once you enter or start the Elite Four, You cannot backtrack. You cannot go back to this center over here. You can't heal up. Can't buy anything. You pretty much have to take a Pokemon Center with you. And the one thing that you cannot buy in stores are items that restore your Pokemon power. And that's where the ethers and elixirs and etc. come in. Now, I don't think we're going to need these for this initial run-through. We might use one once. But ultimately, since you can't buy them, they're very useful to get in any Pokemon game. And I'm sure we're going to be actually actively doing that and collecting them and using them in future Pokemon games. And so just finishing this up here. That's pretty much it. Now just waiting for the commentate over the actual fight. I figure I get like 25. Okay, it looks like 20. Plus the one I picked up, so I got 21. That's not too bad. And what am I doing here? Oh, alright. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn in whatever items that I have left over in my bag, just cause it'll be just faster to select them. Things that we just do not need anymore. Or actually, I check it. I guess I didn't have anything I needed to. Alright, so with that, I'm very certain that we just go ahead and head on to the Elite Four. So let's start this up. First up is Lorelei. She is one smug jerk, let me tell you. I just do not like her character at all either. Okay. She boasts Ice-type Pokemon, but since there are no mono Ice-type Pokemon in Generation 1 at all, there's only subtypes. We get a Dugong here. Dugong. With, that's an Ice Water, or Water Ice, I believe. Just go ahead and zap it. That's all. Thankfully, its special is mediocre. I mean, it's somewhere in the middle, which doesn't give it a good leg out because it's not dedicated. We have Cloyster up here. I told you many times before. Cloyster, just hit it with a good special move, and it should go down. If not one, then definitely in 2 hits, without a doubt. Of course, this thing has Clamp, which is a problem if it gets it off, but thankfully it obviously does not. So these videos aren't going to be too long because, you know, if you did your training like you needed to, and you're a little bit of foresight always helps to play this game before, this really shouldn't be much of a problem. This Slowbro, of course, is specially apt, but thankfully, I was actually kind of shocked. I was expecting it to hang out with like a small bit of health, but thankfully it doesn't work. Now, Jinx here is a Psychic Ice type. So, being Ice, it is very weak to fire, and that's exactly what we have Kate do. Just go ahead and burn it down. Jinx is annoying because of its Sweet Kiss. Sweet Kiss will put you to sleep in Gen 1, whereas in future generations, it'll confuse you. All the same, that's not nice. This Lapras, this is her only Pokemon that actually boasts any concern, even if you have done everything I've said with the training, etc. This thing is bulky. And aside from that, that's why I go ahead and just instead of going on for power, I just start to mess with it. Any Pokemon that I cannot one-shot, or even two-shot, I'm a little risky on that, I just go ahead and I mess around with its stats, with Gigaton, with the Thunder Wave. So it has Body Slam, it's trying to get the paralysis on me, thankfully it does not get it, so that just clears the way for another Thunderbolt to the win. Enough said. Really glad nothing went awry. That actually went really good. And for pretty much wiping out everybody except for Jinx, we get a level up. Nice. How you like that? How dare you? I'm supposed to beat you, Twit. Oh my gosh, we're only gonna get more of this with Whitney later, but that's a whole other case. So let's not go there. Okay, we didn't really take any damage at all. I'm pretty sure none of her Pokemon even touched us. They might have tried once or twice, but that's about it. Okay, yeah, her Body Slam. That's about it. Up here is Bruno, and I gotta be honest, Bruno's a joke. And unfortunately, Bruno boasts fighting Pokemon, but he has a couple of Onyx on his team. Being rock ground, they could just get floored with any good water move. And we have a Blastoise, so there you go. Hooah! I wonder if that's a... Never mind, it's probably not. Okay, Bruno here, who... No, never mind, I'm just leaving go. So, it starts out with the Onyx. Not even a fighting Pokemon, but I'm not gonna go there. It is just going to get destroyed with Mega Drain. Rock, ground. Why did I use Hypnosis? Oh, I'm just doing this again. Why not? This thing, it has Dig, which is a slight concern. Of course, I probably would have switched out if that were the case. I was probably thinking about just putting it to sleep and then saving my Mega Drains for something later down the line just in case, because I only have 10 of them. Or not anymore, but I finally go ahead and do it. Now with the rest of his Pokemon being fighting, they're just going to get plowed down by Psychic. Now the Hitmonchan, since it goes down in one hit, I know for a fact I can one-shot Hitmonlee, because Hitmonchan's, again, the more defensive of the two. Hitmonlee has many fighting type, I believe 3 fighting type moves and 1 normal move, which I think is a stat effect. I think it's Leer. So this thing has no chance of hurting Kita whatsoever. The Hitmonchan had Elemental Punches, Ice, Fire, and Thunder Punch, and had Double Team. Thankfully didn't give it a chance to do that. Here's his second Onix. I really don't know why he doesn't have a Primeape instead of another, instead of another Onix. This one just has 3 more levels up. I finally get it and just go with the Mega Drain. Hitmonchan. Its yellow sprite does not do it justice, though one from Red and Blue looked so much more, well, it looks so much cooler. If I should go ahead and put it to sleep, I go for the Mega Drain. I'm not entirely sure why I did that instead of just going straight for the Psychic. I was probably concerned about it using, I didn't know whether or not it had Earthquake, because it is capable of learning it. Thankfully, Bruno's Machamp does not. It has nothing but fighting moves and some normal type moves again. So it cannot do anything to Kita. I only found this out after the fact, but that's it. That's it. Bruno's a joke. Lorelei is nowhere near as hyped up as she needs to be. And there's the first 2 Elite Four. Now we actually start getting on to some of the Elite Four that might be a bit of a challenge for us, but that's the next part. So thanks guys for joining me again, and I'll see you then.